past doesn't disappear. It hides in your preferences, in your triggers, in the people you chase and the ones you push away, because no one ever taught you to feel. You were taught to forget, to keep moving, to numb everything with achievement, validation, or spiritual performance. But what you avoid doesn't die. It becomes your shadow, and the shadow doesn't sit quietly. It moves without your permission. It picks your lovers. It dictates your reactions. It destroys your peace just to protect you from something you haven't dared to face. The past isn't dead. It's alive in the way you flinch at love, the way you over-explain when someone questions you, the way you stay silent when your whole body is screaming. It's all still inside you, hidden, waiting, wanting to be felt. You don't need another motivational quote. You need a mirror, not the kind that shows your face, the kind that shows your fractures. This is where shadow work begins, not with fixing, but with remembering, with naming all the parts you buried just to survive. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. Your shadow wasn't born to ruin you. It was born to protect you. When you were small and someone shamed you for crying, you learned to smile. When you were punished for anger, you learned to swallow it whole. When being too much pushed people away, you shrank yourself to survive. And piece by piece, the real you, the loud one, the creative one, the sensitive one, was locked away in the name of acceptance. Now you wonder why you feel numb, why love feels impossible, why even in safety you cannot relax. It's because the past is still echoing inside you. Shadow work isn't about silence, it's about learning to listen to those echoes. So how do you begin? Next time you're triggered, don't react. Just notice. Ask yourself, what memory does this feeling belong to? Who am I becoming right now? And who am I protecting? Then write, not to look poetic, but to remember. Write to the version of you who had to hide. The 8-year-old, the teenager who stopped trusting, the adult who pretended to be fine. Ask them what they need, what they still fear, and listen as if your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. Your nervous system isn't malfunctioning, it's remembering. Your fear isn't weakness, it's a map leading you back to your shadow. The goal of shadow work isn't to be perfect, it's to be whole. But wholeness requires truth, and truth often feels like grief. You will grieve who you could have been if someone had loved you better. You will grieve the years you spent hiding, shrinking, overperforming, and yes, it will hurt, but it will also unearth you. This is why most people stop, because feeling is harder than forgetting. But forgetting is the real trap, because the body remembers everything. The tightness in your chest, the shaking in your hands, the tension in your jaw when someone gets too close. These aren't flaws, they're messages, encoded signals from a self still waiting in the dark, not to haunt you, but to be held. And when you finally sit with the feelings you've avoided, something changes. You begin to reclaim your power, not loudly but quietly. You stop saying yes when you mean no. You speak your truth without apologizing. You stop needing love to feel worthy. And the past stops haunting you because you stopped running from it. The past doesn't haunt because it's evil. It haunts because it's unresolved. And unresolved pain doesn't fade. It repeats. That's why you keep attracting the same relationships, why you freeze when you need to speak, why you self-sabotage when life finally feels good. It's not fate, it's a loop, an unconscious pattern born from an unhealed story. And the loop continues until you stop, not to fight it, to feel it. Shadow work asks, what part of me did I abandon to survive? Your voice, your softness, your anger, your sense of wonder, your ability to trust. Whatever it was, it didn't die. It was buried. And what's buried doesn't disappear. It waits. So how do you begin the process of becoming whole again? Start small. Start where it hurts. The jealousy you deny. The judgment you hide behind. The part of you that must always be right. The part that destroys things before they get too good. Don't shame these parts. Observe them. Because each shadow contains a truth and a gift. Your jealousy? maybe a dream you once silenced, your rage, your boundaries trying to return, your numbness, a final shield protecting a wound that still doesn't feel safe. Carl Jung called this individuation, the slow, painful transformation of becoming who you were always meant to be by reclaiming everything you were taught to hide. And here's the paradox. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It remembers what your mind forgot. It holds the emotion beneath your overthinking. It carries the truths under every mask you wear, and it speaks to you in triggers, in dreams, in the people you can't stop thinking about, in the places you're afraid to enter. If you listen, not with your mind, but with your whole being, something sacred happens. The fragments return. The silenced child finds her voice. The boy who had to be strong learns to cry. The version of you who had to leave comes home. This is the path of wholeness, not perfection, wholeness. But let me be honest, it's not beautiful all the time. Sometimes it's messy. You will cry without knowing why. You will question who you are, without the wounds you once called your personality. You will feel like you're falling apart, and you are. But only the parts that were never truly you. And in that space between who you were and who you're becoming, you will feel something you forgot was possible. Peace. Not the peace that comes from avoiding life, the peace that comes from telling the truth, from not lying to yourself anymore, from finally facing the pain that shaped you and choosing differently. That is shadow work. And no, it's not easy, but it is sacred. Because when you finally meet the parts of yourself you once rejected, something ancient awakens inside you, a knowing, a remembering, a soft voice whispering, you were never broken, you were buried, and now you rise. The past isn't dead, it's hiding inside you, and maybe now you're finally ready to face it, because healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering with love, feeling what once felt unbearable, and choosing to live, not in spite of the past, but with it, integrated, honored, at peace. This is the work, this is the path, this is your return to self. Welcome home. If something in you whispered, "This is me," don't ignore it. Shadows don't disappear when you look away. They soften when you face them. If you're ready to meet the parts of you waiting in the dark, subscribe and come with me in the next video.